Come on, Huck. Good boy. Hi.
Hi. Come here,
Okay. Now you're going to play with him.
Okay.
And pet her too, and try to get the two of them a little amped up. Now what we have here is Karma, who, all right, so when you want a dog, no, don't correct her, play with her, get her roughed up. Now, I had a very nice man contact me. He's got herders, he's got horses, probably cattle, and he wants intensity in the dogs, but he's got to have control. Now, whether the intensity is directed at the person that owns the dog, which that's what's going on here, or outside, we've got to have the ability to turn it off. Now, when we have a big puppy like this, the tendency is not to turn them on and not let them be rude to other people, but we play with them ourselves, right?
Right.
So, if that's the case, how does the dog know how to treat somebody who's not there for the best intentions? They growl, but they really don't do anything beyond that. All right, now we need her to be able to turn off. Now, turning off is not the problem. She talks a good game, but look at what she really is. That's really not even a bold enough dog to really do anything but growl. Furthermore, she's standoffish with other people. She's been taught to be very polite to them, right? Okay, so in other words, if a burglar came in, the only one she can be rough to is you. That's kind of scary, isn't it? All right. This kind of reverse aggression gets you into trouble. All right, so you need something that turns her on. What would that be? What does she really turn on for?
Sticks.
Sticks. Oh, good. Okay.
A ball.
Okay. Both very, very dangerous to you, right? No, but I mean, when you come right down to it, we get this dog because we want her to be somewhat protective, all right? We can't turn the dog off if we can't get her to turn on. And she doesn't want to turn on. She wants to be, okay. Now, Mr. Huck, he's got kind of the balance. He knows how to turn on, but he also knows how to behave around people, and that's cool. Have you worked anything with the aggression toy?
We have it. We've had it hanging. She'll play with it for a little bit. It's not.
But you don't make it a big deal.
She's not that interested.
No.
Okay.
You don't make it a big deal.
All right.
Okay. Does Molly play with it? See, this is that half-hearted, well, she likes it for a while. It's not drive. See? And that's what we don't do. In our quest to keep them so well behaved, we keep them under the radar. They don't even know how to turn on. See? Now, in the case of, and this isn't to pick on Kathie, well, yes it is. This isn't to pick on Kathie necessarily, except whenever Kiowa gets around another dog, Kathie immediately says, easy. Never have an attitude. And then if the dog shows an attitude, she gets corrected. You need a dog that not only turns off, but also turns on. Good girl, Karma. Now come over here and mess with Huck. Good girl, Karma, right there. Just, hey, Hucker. Now see, Huck has no interest in playing with Mary Pat. He's perfectly acceptable to other people. You can take him anywhere. Hey, you Hucker. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Hi, good boy. Come here. Good boy. Hi. Now, his focus is not on roughhousing with me, and it shouldn't be. That's the problem with, she likes to play ball and she likes to play with sticks. That isn't really turned on anything, is it? That's she likes to play.
Yeah.
Well, I just played a game of checkers before I came down here, but that doesn't mean it would do me any good if I really had a problem. Would that be true? Okay. All right. So just take a break for a second, Kathie. Now you bring, Hucker, that's enough. Good boy. Now that's what, enough, thank you very much. That's what I want in a dog. Not that I have to holler at him. Now, he's not wrong. Kiowa wants to play. I don't have a problem with that. Come here, you. Now I would put just a little short, thin line on her, just a little tag. Come here, Hucker. I know, you're an excellent dog. Hi. It's very important that the dog can work with a lead on. Because a lot of dogs, you put a lead on them and they just shut down. No. You want that dog to be able to deal with that line because that's the only way you're going to actually be able to train him. All right, now go out there and just walk Kiowa for just 30 seconds or whatever. Have her wait and have her...
Hey, leave it. Here. Wait. Wait.
Up.
I said.
Now don't be ornery. You don't need to treat her like him.
Good girl.
See, when you come down too serious on her, you're going to take her back down the hill.
Good girl.
All right, now this dog was very, very, very flat at one time. All right, so by teaching her to tug on that line, okay, you give that, pull. Now, if Kathie can do that with Kiowa, don't tell me you can't do that with Karma. So in whatever level for that dog, now Kathie's not a rough person. Kiowa is just as good a dog as you could ever want. But this gives her the ability to have an attitude of some kind. Now, we also needed to teach her to be somewhat intense if the person needs to be dealt with intensity. Now, Kiowa was taught to be very, very respectful at a very young age. In fact, a little too respectful. All right, now you're going to call her away from that. Oh, yeah, you have to be able to call them away, too, and that's where the long line comes in. Okay, have her wait.
Wait.
Well, bring her over by you. No, don't grab her. Leave. Talk to her.
Girl, wait.
See how bossy she is?
Wait.
Yes, that's exactly what you need. All right, now, we needed to teach Kathie, or teach Kiowa, to be pushy around a human being. And Kathie was where we started. So, what did you teach her? Yeah, but what's your word?
Whoa.
Crazy dog! Crazy dog! Where's my crazy dog?
Oh, you want to go back to the toy?
Where's my crazy dog?
You and her play together.
Come on, my crazy dog.
So, if you have a word that turns that dog on,
Crazy dog.
now you have a turn on, a turn off, and you can stop her. Call her.
I will need it. Come on, good girl. Good girl.
Okay, have her wait.
Wait.
So we want that dog to be able to be controlled. Because if this was a cow, a bicycle, the neighbor, you better be able to stop her. So she's waiting. Now send her.
Get that thing.
Crazy dog.
Crazy dog, get that thing. Good girl, get it. Yeah, good crazy dog. Good girl.
Now, is it Rin Tin Tin level? No. Is it, an attack dog? No, she had stopped to itch. But it's got more attitude.
Get that thing. Good crazy dog.
All right, call her back. Now you need to stay back. You keep creeping up on her. Okay, now you're going to send her, tell her kind of to go out, call her to you. Kind of do go out. Tell her wait.
Wait.
Beautiful. Excellent. Okay, now tell her go out.
Go out. Get it. Go out. Get it. Get it.
Be crazy, dog.
Be crazy dog.
You go up. Good girl.
Crazy dog.
There you go. Now that's the on switch. Go out there. Go up there and play with her. Just get her back again. You kind of threw her there.
Get your thing. What you doing? Get that thing. Get that thing. Get that thing.
So the more you can do this, it takes the focus off you having to control the dog, and it also gets the dog coming away from full-blown aggression.
Crazy dog. Whoa. Come on. Whoa.
So when your dog really is connected to that thing and just really shaking it and pulling, and you got a long line on it where you call the dog off. Now anytime you're dealing with controlled aggression, meaning way big intensity, whether it's a burglar, whether it's a cow, a cat, I don't care what, you need to be able to call that dog off, or it's a dangerous dog. It's going to do some damage. Get that thing.
Get that crazy dog. Crazy dog. Get that thing. Crazy dog.
Hold it. Now, just pull it away from her. Don't. There you go. Pull it. Pull it. Now, this is what gets the dog hot. The struggle. Get it. Good girl. Get it. Good girl. Now, you'd also want to make sure that you're hollering along with that. Get it. All right. Because if there was a confrontation, there's going to be loud talk. Get it. Now, pull it away from her. Don't tell her. Pull it. Get it. Now swing it and get it. Good, get it. You've got to condition them to take some loud talk, because in the middle of anything, that's what it's going to be.
Get it. Come on, get it. Get it.
Now this gives the dog permission to challenge you, but not your hands. It also doesn't mess up retrieving, because if that dog tugs with things you're retrieving.
Good girl. Go crazy dog. Go get that thing.
Now in dogs like Karma, she likes to have you involved. But you can't be involved in everything. Boy, don't you think it took a lot of work to get Kathie to do this. So now, your goal is to be able to send that dog out from there. Now, don't just say that.
Kiowa, come on. Come on, crazy dog. Get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go out. Go out.
Get it.
Get that thing.
See?
Go out. Go get it.
Now, all of this takes step-by-step instruction. This is actually harder than a dog that's got a lot of drive. You can always take it out of them. But putting it into them is very difficult. But you got to have both sides. Now, you go over there, and then as she's tugging on it, you're going to back away.
Get that thing, crazy dog. Come on, get that thing. Get that thing. Get that thing. Yeah, get that thing.
Well, don't pull it way up. Get it, Hucker.
Get it, crazy dogs. Get it, crazy dogs.
Get that thing.
Get that thing. Take it, guys. Come on, get it.
Come here, Huck.
Go get
Come
it.
here.
Come on, crazy.
Now, Kai was very respectful of other dogs, too.
Crazy. Crazy dog. Come on, crazy dog. Get your thing going.
Oh, she just doesn't know what to do.
Get that thing.
Anyway, okay. You're not going to make her want to do that.
Get that thing.
Now, this becomes a command, which kind of takes away the intensity.
Crazy dog. Come on, crazy dog.
Kathie, you're beating a dead horse.
I see that.
Now, this is one of the biggest problems with intense dogs. We don't want to take the fire out of them, but we have to have it controlled. Every time you correct a dog, it takes it down a notch. You can see in Kiowa, that's a lot of work to bring her back up because she's her too. You better bring that out. That dog has got a lot of intensity in her, and you need her to not be afraid to use it, because in that, you can then control it. If she never uses it and all of a sudden, what a cute dog. Good dog. You're an excellent dog, I know. Okay, I got my dog here, my pet. He's a pretty good old dog. But darn her, every time I get out there with them horses, she's at it again. Okay, now, I have invisible horses, so therefore they're running all over here. Okay, I'm out here trying to take care of them. If you were medicating cattle or whatever, it looks the same. It's just a lot of activity. Sheep are moving all over the place, and a good herder wants to get them. They don't care what for, they just want to get them. All right. Now, when you think about one of the most important things, well, there's three pieces of a good dog. Now, the last thing I want in a good working dog is a boring dog. I don't want a dog that stays over there and just lets the world go by. That's not what you want in a working dog. So a dog that's been tied too much takes them too far, accepting everything. We won't mention names. Okay, so now you're at the end of that. Now, with this much space, you've got a lot of choices, right? Come on, Fenner, or whatever your name is, Huck. Good dog. Now, would you be standing there if I was working with the animals? You'd be barking your fool head off. You'd be acting like an idiot, right? Yep. Okay, this is what happens. Now, if you were loose, okay, stop. If you were loose and I was working with the animals, you might be in a stay and you'd stay there until you couldn't stand it anymore, and then you'd be out there, and then the person would have to holler at you or back you off, in which case I've corrected you for doing exactly what I want you to do. If I want you to come in on a cow, I don't want you walking in politely saying, "Cow, you have to move." I want you coming in and backing that cow off me, right? Or that horse or that sheep or whatever. We need to teach this dog. It's a great dog. Got a lot of attitude. Now, she started obedience training a long time ago, which, you know, we need to undo that, because I don't want her on my side, and I don't want her obedient. I want her respectful. So if I needed to bring her down a little bit, I want her watching these animals very intensely, but not being crazy. So if she was barking her fool head off and carrying on, right away you notice when I walk, see what happens? That kind of is a deterrent for jumping around and acting like a nut. All right, now you still want to go back and forth because I'm still working these animals. But you're probably not going to do it, are you? Especially if that was down by your legs. Well, you can lower your hand. You don't have to bend over. Now it gets even more uncomfortable. See, she wants to follow me. That's exactly what that dog would do. You be easy, because this dog's working right now, right? She doesn't see the horses either, or the dogs, or the cats, or the whatever. But eventually, this dog would calm down while I'm working this one. And you're supposed to be watching. So as she slows down and is just watching, good easy, good wait. Come on, Huck. Good. Good, easy. So now I'm telling her when she's doing it right. You can still walk. You'd probably lie down. That's what herders do. This is exactly what you want a dog to do when you're not needing them. So tied with a cue bone, a dog hits that, backs off the pressure. Now, if I had a really intense dog that was really serious, I'd tie it with a pinch to start with. Once the dog started understanding there was a limit to the lead, then it would have, it'd be on the cue collar. All right, so now we've got her so that she's not so intense. So I can come over here, she can follow me, just follow me over. Wait, you be easy. Good, easy. You're fine. You be easy. Come on. Good. Wait. Good, easy. I know, it's nuts, isn't it, Hucker? All right, so at this point, from a distance, no line on the dog, I'm actually able to control you. Good, easy. What a good girl. Come on. Good girl. All right. Hey, come here. The two of you. Oh, what good dogs I have. Okay. Now, come on. Mary Pat, wait. Good, wait. Huck and I are working. Now, this allows you to establish in a young dog, it doesn't have the same rights as the big dog. But the young dog is watching the established dog and quickly realizes what the job is. All right, so now you've graduated. We've played with this for a while. Now this is horse lead. These are 10 feet instead of 6. I don't want a herder or any of my dogs walking right on my leg unless I want them there. Okay, so if we were out with animals, now again, they're invisible, so this is tougher. Okay, come on, push them. Easy, good. So if in fact, come on, babe, good. Now my voice is low, powerful. Incidentally, I call all dogs babes, so that was kind of just a reaction. Good. We are pushing. I don't want the dog going in fast. But if I say, push him, come on, easy, good. This teaches the dog, good. Oh, push him, good, easy, good job. So I can walk through the flock of sheep without this dog being nuts. Wait. Now I can let the animals go by. She's still on duty. She's still watching. She's actually in a guard position where if the sheep, you would turn, yeah, there you go, because I'd be looking at the sheep. You're supposed to be helping me. I know. Well, they are hard to spot. But in this way, she's now protecting me from those animals coming in, which is right. If I say, with me, push him, come on. There you go. Good, easy. Because the dog learned not to be pulling on the line, I can walk through the herd or flock or whatever I have, and I can tell her to push them, which is driving them, which is really sometimes more important than actually the herding. You run in on them, and they're going to scatter, especially sheep. So we can walk to the field. Good. Now I expect the dog to be paying attention to me. Very good. I'll praise the dog for doing right, but I'm not going to give it a bunch of commands. Far enough. Good. And make sure along with this, easy, that we can talk to another person, and if he is a mass murderer, I haven't told you to be easy. And you have to be very careful when you're doing animals, because a line attached is a good way to get, you can be quick to let it go. You don't tie it to you. But this is kind of, outside of having some sheep in here, this is kind of how it goes. Now when you look at Huck, he's watching. There's nothing to be excited about. I've focused on him doing his job when there's actually a job, not the play. He plays, but he doesn't necessarily tug with me. I really don't care. But having a dog tied so it can watch the kids ride bicycles. So all of these things apply, whether it's bicycles, other animals, hunting, herding, I don't care what it is, guarding. You can't have a Rottweiler that just you have to hold back, because all that is targeting. You tie that dog, tell it to be easy, wait, whatever you need to do. But when you want to keep the intensity, you tie them on a longer line. If you want a good companion dog, they're tied by the wall. Now Karma has been tied on a short line, so it's normal for her to just relax. You need to get her so she plays some of these games, because you're letting her focus the aggression towards you. And it's not aggression because it's controllable, but it is intensity. Controlled intensity is the most beautiful thing in the world. Uncontrolled intensity is aggression. And she's got the potential. That makes sense? She's glad to give me my line back, isn't she? Anyway, I hope that helps.